In March 2006, the Army announced it would allow tattoos on the hands and back of the neck. However, any tattoos on hands must be small and unobtrusive, and those on the back of necks can't be visible above uniform collars. When explaining the change, the Army cited a survey that found 28% of Americans under the age of 25 have at least one tattoo. That number jumps to 30% for ages 25 to 34. And within those groups are thousands of otherwise qualified men and women the Army had to turn away because of the location of their tattoos. It was an added limitation on an increasingly limited resource.
It most definitely is a challenging market for all branches, not even just the Army. However, the media portrays that there is a lack of interest in joining the military. The interest is there. It's not there's a lack of interest to join. There's a lack of qualified individuals that can join.
1 year after the Army changes, the Marine Corps decided to make the first adjustment to its 42-year-old tattoo policy by further limiting the kinds of tattoos it would allow. And the type known as sleeve tattoos, which cover the majority of a person's arm or leg, didn't make the cut.
The concern, I think, that we have as an institution is for what we would call excessive tattooing, which then starts at some point not to present a good military appearance. Now, does a tattoo keep a Marine from doing his job, his or her job? Absolutely not. And we realize that. But a Marine really restricts his possible assignment if you have excessive tattoos.
Air Force policy summed up says tattoos can't cover more than 25% of an exposed body part and must not be visible at all above the collar. Meanwhile, a sailor's tattoos can't show through the white uniform or beyond the head, face, or neck. And if on the lower arm, a tattoo can't be any larger than the wearer's fist. As for the Coast Guard, tattoos on the face, head, neck, and hands are off limits, and no more than a quarter of arms or legs can be tattooed. So why do U.S. servicemen and women get tattoos? Is it because they think it's the in thing to do? Or because they're patriots? Or because they want a reminder of loved ones or lost friends? Well, yes. The fact is, there are as many reasons as there are people. And the same holds true for the varied views people have about tattoos.
When people in the military get it, I think it has some sort of deeper meaning.
I mean, tattoos are pretty much a tradition for all military. So, I mean, everybody normally gets one here at least one time in their naval career.
I feel that it's something that people should refrain from until they're out of the service, or to put it in places where it can't be seen in uniform.
I feel the tattoos are a personal thing, but the way the regulations have changed, how you can have tattoos on your neck and your hand, I think it hinders performance in the Army.
Makes me a little bit more prouder that I am in the military, showing that, hey, I have this tattoo and it's got the Air Force symbol in it and I'm proud of it.
Some people think that they're like a bad thing. I think they're kind of neat.
For the most part, I feel that as long as the tattoo's appropriate, that anyone should be able to have them.
I'm not saying you should or shouldn't have them, but if you do have them, be smart about it.
Especially when overseas, to me, I mean, these are pretty much the ambassadors of our country, so.
Be careful where you put them and make sure they're artistic and not gross.
Carrying on a family tradition of service in the U.S. Marine Corps these last 4 years, Lance Corporal Andrew Gray has learned firsthand that looking sharp is a big part of what it means to be a Marine.
Oh, I mean, every day from, you know, small unit leaders, team leaders, squad leaders, stuff like that. They're pushing that. I mean, even when we're out in the field, like out training in the woods, they're like, hey, you know, shave every day, double dog, and stuff like this. They don't let it slide one bit.
Andrew has served 2 tours in Iraq. On top of his memories, he also has one permanent reminder honoring friends lost in combat.
They just didn't make it back, and I was pretty close with both of them, and I know they were definitely on the same, you know, for me. So that was like, as soon as it happened, I mean, after I got over it and we got home, I was like, that's definitely the first, you know, ink that I'm getting. It's just a reminder of everything that, you know, that I've been through, and you know, you just look at it. If you're having like a tough day or whatever, I'll just look down and I'll be like, hey, well, nothing was as tough as when I went through that.
Andrew didn't stop with one tattoo, but they all fall within current regulations. He says there's a personal payoff for meeting the Corps' demanding appearance standards.
You know, when you know that you look good and you wear the uniform and stuff, you gotta walk a little bit tall. You gotta stick your chest out a little bit.
Regardless of which service a person signs up for, everyone who puts on the U.S. military uniform has to meet the same standards. That means reservists are expected to fit right in with their full-time counterparts. Also, those who serve a tour and then leave the military should keep in mind that 8-year service obligation everyone commits to when they join, because you just might get called. That's what happened to Ian Jones, who left the Army in 2003 after 4 years in the service.
And then in 2005, I got a letter in the mail saying that I had to report back from the inactive reserves back to active duty. By that time, I had already had tattoos on my neck and my hands. And so I had to send in a memorandum to the Department of the Army with pictures of my tattoos to see if they still even wanted me to come back in. No. They said no thank you. So you put the stencil on, you can go look in the mirror and make sure you're like exactly where it is. This part's temporary, the next part's forever.
Tattoo laser removal is far more painful than physically getting the tattoo.
Individual opinion aside, it's a fact that tattoos are a common sight these days, and no longer just among fringe groups and the young. An American Academy of Dermatology study claims almost 1 in 4 Americans between 18 and 50 have a tattoo. At the same time, there's a better understanding of related health risks and improvements in tattooing procedures. Still, not every tattoo parlor or artist is up to speed. If you do choose to get a tattoo, in addition to your service's regulations, there are some other things you should look for and consider.
The shop, look around. Is it dirty? Is it clean? Are they using bags over like the parts they're going to touch? Is everything in a clean environment? You know, new needles. You don't want to go get a tattoo right before you're going to go to the field for a month, and if you're pregnant, could be pregnant, you don't want to get tattooed. Anyone can get a tattoo gun and a tattoo machine and run out and start tattooing their buddies. And when I was in Fort Hood tattooing, we had quite a few that had came back and they were getting tattooed out in Iraq. And like, I mean, it just didn't look good, mainly because of the quality of the artist. But even then, like, I wouldn't want a tattoo in Iraq because there's just too much risk for infection and sickness, because it's, in essence, it's an open wound and you're trying to heal it in a not so clean place.
More people with tattoos also means there are more who wish to have one removed. That study done by the American Academy of Dermatology we mentioned earlier also indicated of the 24% of Americans who have tattoos, about 17% have given thought to having one removed. At Walter Reed Army Medical Center's dermatology clinic, Dr. Kurt Maggio has been performing laser removal of tattoos since 2000.
Hello, hey, good to see you again. How are things?
Good, sir.
Okay, so we're ready to do
this hour. His patient is Ensign Charlie Solis, back for his 10th session.
Okay, I know that you've been through quite a few of these removal sessions, right?
Yes, sir.
Great, okay. Just kind of take a look at how we're doing.
I got this tattoo when I was much younger. I've grown up and it's pretty much stayed the same. So now that I'm in the healthcare profession, when patients come in, they kind of look you up and down, and that first impression, and then when they see the tattoo, you know, every now and then you can see a kind of reaction that lets you know that it's not the first impression you'd want to make, I guess.
All right.